Man, welcome to the show. To be honest, man, I've known you for a long time, and this has been a long time coming. I know you've jumped around quite a bit between platforms, and ultimately, what kind of led us to this most recent conversation and getting connected back together was the fact that you ended up back on YouTube. What led you back to doing YouTube? For anyone out there who's like looking to stream, why would they choose YouTube, or why did you?
I have definitely tried every single platform. Even the tinier ones, D Live, Trovo, the tiny little platforms that just started up. And I wanted to see kind of where I felt like my entertainment factor, I guess, fit the best. Most of the time was on Twitch, but I found that the main reason for moving over was, for one, transcoding is huge, and encoding. So on YouTube, you can live stream at 1440p, which is what
Right.
my monitors are at, and so I prefer that resolution. But the bit rate is uncapped, so the quality can be
Right.
out of the roof, but someone can watch on a worse internet connection. Whereas on Twitch, I was having a lot of dropped frame issues. So the main priority was the community being able to actually pull in and watch the content and experience it all in low latency. Um, but it really, it depends on, I would say, what the person's looking for out of it. Twitch is definitely still the biggest platform, but there's no way to make it on Twitch without first doing something on YouTube or TikTok. And so I am
Yeah.
just a YouTube kid. I watched it like the first week YouTube was around until now. I've been
Right.
obsessed with it. So for me, it's just kind of like sticking with the platform I'm obsessed with.
I agree with that, man, 100%. Like, I was just thinking about this the other day. I suck at Instagram. Like, I am terrible at I don't understand it for whatever reason. It doesn't compute. But you get me on YouTube, and I can pick apart every little detail and put together, content in a way that I just understand, in a way that people connect with. For anybody who's looking to get started, like you said, you've been doing this, man, for 6 years. Sometimes it takes many years before you see that like epic success, right? Like, you do really well compared to tons of people, and just to get where you're at is a process. So like, your daily routine, break that down, but how much would you say of that is actual content creation and how much is actually streaming?
Oh, that's a good question. Um,
Yes, I knew I was going to
yeah,
get you with
I've
one.
it's so funny. So I'm glad I'm on your show because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that I have never talked about that I know way too much about. I've always thought that I would fit really well as a stream coach because I know too much about what
Yeah.
happens. Basically, to sum your question up in the easiest way I can explain it is that streaming isn't even streaming. Like, the way that I've always explained it was, for example, with TikTok. TikTok has been like the absolute best platform I've used since the early Instagram days.
Yeah.
I posted a one random video one night and drove up to Seattle to sell a buddy a computer. And by the time I got there, I had 2 million views, and
Dang. Wow.
my Twitch account was blowing up. Yeah, I drove back the same night and went live at like 1 a.m. to like 100 and something viewers. It was crazy. That platform,
That's like a 3 or 4 hour drive. Like, that's not a lot of time, right? Or
no,
was that from
yeah, and I
California, or was that from Oregon?
Portland, yeah. So I
Portland,
mean,
yeah.
it was 3.5 hours, but then when it happened, I was like, I can't. This is like, ever since I used to do Instagram marketing, I've always said that there's a small window when you can take advantage of chances like that. And
Totally.
coming back as quickly as possible when everyone's flooding my page with follows and everything is the perfect time to go live and then just
Yeah.
boost up those viewer numbers. So
Right.
yeah, it was like a 3.5 hour drive home, but ran right inside, went online, went live, and it was like
Totally.
180 people
I
instantly.
bet
It
you were
was
doing like 80, 90 miles an hour back home, just like, dude, I gotta get there.
I had Kylie, my fiance, refreshing my
Yeah.
Twitch, telling me how
Yeah.
how fast they were going up in followers. It's but the point being, it was so simple.
What's more important, though, out of those two things? Is it more important to have, a ton of short edits, or is it more important to have like a full stream? Like, what's the balance there? I know you said, obviously, if one goes viral, you just hit the stream and you go. But should you be doing like 70% short edits and like limited streaming capability, or what do you think?
Yeah, so I'll reference the person who basically like changed my perspective on anything was Devin Nash.
Mm,
So he was a former, I believe, CEO of a huge organization. I think it was one of like CLG or one of the major esports orgs. And now owns I believe, a marketing agency, and he's a wizard. He
yeah.
follows every single trend. He talks about all these different marketing things. And what I realized from him was that he was the first person to say stream less. So everyone always said, like,
Okay.
you got to stream 8 hours, and then the last 2 hours you had to make videos, and then you got to edit them, and then basically never sleep.
Right.
Um, his take was always that the most important thing was that you streamed way less and made what's called evergreen content everywhere else.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the purpose of that being the reason you wouldn't stream as much, and if we really just went like brass tacks and said, if we're looking at this financially as like a career,
Mm-hmm.
the reason is because the only time you make money from streaming is when you're live.
Right.
um so you have, say, a 4-hour window to possibly make what is in some cases minimum wage. um but then YouTube and TikTok are kind of like stocks. You
Totally.
put into them, and in a year from now a YouTube video blows up and has 1 million views, and you get a random payout, and that's your dividend. So the point is to continue investing in those stocks so they passively make money, and then work your 9 to 5, which is the stream, so for 4 hours or so. So I definitely say it's more important to focus on the evergreen content and then supplement that with live streams rather than the opposite. So I would say 70%. At this point I'm 80% in YouTube and TikTok, and then 20% streaming because I'm doing a little bit more experimentation with my pages. But yeah, that's how I would definitely recommend it like that.
So for somebody who is, obviously we see you've got a nice mic, man, you've got a nice lighting, you got a good setup, good camera. For somebody who's getting started, how important is that? Like investing into that equipment? Do you think, can they do it simple, or do they need nice equipment, nice lighting to stand out?
Oh, yeah, great question. Fantastic
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um there's a threshold. So there oh man. There's a gear threshold. Um so what I always say is that what I currently have, I have because I'm an enthusiast, and
Mm,
because at some point or another doing this career, if you want to call it that, has paid for what I have.
yeah.
Um So I see it as an investment, but also as an enthusiast. So it's a car person who sells cars is still someone who's going to spend money on cars, whether or not it's their job. They're going to do it.
Right.
Um, However, for someone just getting started, there is definitely a threshold. So I'd say in some cases, a headset microphone will work.
Yeah.
Definitely grab a webcam. Maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're inflated in price right now, but
Totally. They are for the most part.
$100 for a webcam will last you 5 years, and then a nice microphone is a great investment. But I always recommend someone to spend enough money on like a at least something like a Blue Yeti or one of the other options that have been popping up like crazy that are in that same market.
Yeah.
And not something that's like a $20 Amazon Basics mic, because they will break and then you're set back another $20. So invest a little bit, but realistically, the most important part is just getting yourself out there. I mean, if we look at some people like the Fortnite streamer Ronaldo, he
Mm,
uses a C920 webcam,
yeah.
so $100 webcam, and I think a Logitech headset with the headset mic, which is like $40. I think he's sponsored by Logitech or something, so he
Right.
gets all that for free, and he's, I think, averaging like 10,000 viewers. So
Holy crap. Get
Tyler
out.
Tyler One's a
Dang.
good example. He
Yeah.
uses
Yeah.
a C920 and a simple like I think a $30 headset, and he has like 40,000 viewers. The people are there
Jeez, man.
to
Wow.
watch him. Yeah, and they,
Yeah, and I
millionaires.
guarantee they have amazing personality. Something that, like, no
Oh
matter
yeah.
how hard I tried, I probably don't have that It's just not me. Like, that's not my personality. But it's such a likable personality too, and I think that's also important. But I agree with you, man. I think you do spend a little money on things like the microphone for good audio. The camera is probably like, medium quality is probably fine. Like I shot videos on, I used a little shotgun mic and my cell phone for a year and didn't really, maybe I bought a new light or a tripod, but I didn't really spend much more than a couple $100 until year two. Um,
Oh
all
yeah,
for YouTube. And I
I would
had,
take
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would take bad video quality over bad audio quality any day. So like I would
100%.
rather it sound better than look better. And that's the best part is that it's actually cheaper for it to sound better.
I'll let people know where to find you. You're available on YouTube. The platform is Voidzu, so VOIDZU. Type that into YouTube in the search bar. For me, is the first one that pops up, but you can filter by channel, and it will definitely pull them up. Currently, right now, somewhere around 5.3 thousand subscribers and growing. He's live. When are you live? Tell us your schedule.
Well, a lot of things are going on right now. So the lives have been less like scheduled. They're supposed to be coming back soon, but yeah, my computer broke last weekend. I had to drop
Oh
800 and
yeah, you
fix
told me
it,
that.
and yeah,
Bummer, man.
so
Sorry.
the lives are, I'm set up to do them right now. But they're usually about 4 days a week and from about 7 to 11 p.m.
7 to 11. But you have a lot of content out there, and obviously on TikTok. Are you also Voidzu on TikTok?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be King Voidzu or Real Voidzu. It's either one of those over there as well. I couldn't get the normal name Voidzu for some reason.
Interesting. Well, send me that info, man. I'll put it in. I actually have his YouTube channel linked as suggested channels. So if you're on my homepage, TechCessory's homepage, you can see the Voidzu channel. You can click over that. You can subscribe. You can check out his content. And then TikTok, I'll put the link down below if you guys just want to check it out. I know the short videos are super popular right now. I watch a few on YouTube. Anything you want to say, man, here at the end, or any question you want to ask me before we go to our Dare Derek segment, Gunner?
Yeah, just to finish it off. I mean, anyone looking to start streaming or making content in general, the biggest thing I can say is just start now. And I think
Yeah.
that it's more important that you, even without a webcam, without audio, without anything, just record if you can. If you're on a computer, record your
Mm.
gameplay and upload it. Get something out there because um, there's there's nowhere to go but up when you're starting.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this interview from our Thursday live stream. The full video can actually be found on the channel in our live days segment, but we do these every other Thursday, and we have tons of interviews to come and good fun segments for you guys. So definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see when we post those and when we go live. So as always, you guys, I'll catch you in the next video.